as good of a football player you are, man, a professional speaker is, I mean, it's got to be in the next line of work, whether it's here on the podcast or you running for president, whichever one you want to do, I'm sure you can do.
Well, yeah, it's easy. I think it's really easy to give speeches when you are just reciting what you lived and what you've experienced. I don't know that I can, go up in front of a corporation and give a speech about that, you know what I mean? For me to just recant all the people that have been really meaningful in my life and all the experiences I've had with my teammates in the city.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just reciting history. So to me, it makes it easier. And I felt the same way about the parade speech. Like, I didn't say anything up there that wasn't, like, I didn't make anything up. It was all out there. So that's what makes it easy. Like, to come up with like something off the cuff that I think it would be a lot harder. So this one was easy to write.
Yeah.
I'd already written it for like 13 years. Like I said, I take notes. I would wake up at times and have these thoughts in my head and just jot them down. Really, the only thing I had to do is figure out the order when I'm putting everything.
Did you did that? Was it just you, or did you have any?
So I read the first draft to Brett Strosacker. He works in our media department with the Eagles. Well, actually, I read the first draft to Kylie, and then I read the first draft to Brett, and both of them had like, should you put this person in there? Should you put that person? Like, I don't know if you should make a big dick Nick joke. And I'm like, fuck you. And
dude, it was so good.
I text Nick to make sure he was okay with it. And he was like, of course he was like, it's like, yeah, you can tell everybody. Yeah. But the surprising one was when he said, I asked Tori, and Tori, his wife, and Tori gave the okay. That was the surprising part. I was like, okay, all right, Tori.
Nice.
All right.
Thanks, Tor. Everyone enjoyed it. A lot of people are saying it was their favorite part of it.
Yeah, so I think you kind of, you start with a framework. I decided to go chronologically for the most part and save the most meaningful people and stories and messages for the ending portion, while reciting some memories of the most impactful things that happened throughout my career. So kind of settled into that framework, and then, rewrote it a few times, changed things up, added things here and there. I think the section on you was like I changed that day of like, hey, I'm trying to think, like, I got to say more about like growing up with Trev, like what else? And I'm like, oh yeah, like playing in the backyard, like, we played multiple Super Bowls before we ever left the house. Like, we envisioned ourselves being Jim Thome, Carlos Baerga, like, I think so that stuff kind of went in last second.
I still am trying to be Carlos Baerga.
Yeah. I mean, he was
Kenny Lofton, you name it, dude. The whole Guardians. If you were a sports figure in Cleveland, we imagined ourselves.
The 90s Indians were huge, though. Those were the teams in Cleveland. The Browns left in the 90s, so we didn't even have a football team.
Yeah, just became a fan of the game.
Well, I was a fan. Jerome Bettis was my guy. The bus.
I was a Favre guy.
Jerome Bettis and Mike Allstott were, and then Brian Urlacher, Ray Lewis. You were who?
I was Favre.
Yeah.
Huge. I thought I had a cannon like him too, man. Doggone.
You did. You could throw it. No, you could throw it. Before you tore your labrum, you could chuck that thing.
Now that we got some more time, is there anybody that you want to give a shout out to that you just?
I don't even want to do that. I don't want to do that right now because there's going to be people I'm going to leave off. If I'm just randomly ripping that out the top of my head.
Delete that.
Yeah. No, listen, there's a lot of people I want to thank. Teammates and like so many people have reached out since yesterday.
It's been so cool to see
everybody. I have texted nobody back because it's a lot.
That a boy.
I'm dreading having to try and get through all these. At the same time, excited because there's a lot of meaningful people that have texted me and reached out. Listen, this is why football is so special. Unlike any other sport, especially offensive line, like this is what's crazy. I am a center. Like I make no plays on my own. My job is just to facilitate an environment where other guys can make plays. And, I'm still being celebrated and talked about on a level. And I think that's awesome for the other guys that play my position and for the other kids that play offensive line. Like it's largely been an unheralded position for a long time. And in some ways, I think the offensive line symbolizes the sport better than anything else. We're all ultimately relying on the guys next to us and the coach and what they're calling and, the systems you're running.
The
and
physicality of the game.
It's such a dependent game. There'd be too many people to thank and try and hit by listing off, all of my teammates and coaches and people in the building and, T. Roy, our janitor, Tony, it's ridiculous. And, so, tried to limit it to really just like the people that for sure made like a very pointed impact. And then of course the head figures at each level, that's the beauty of football. It's the most complete team game that there is
ever. Yeah.
In my mind.
And man, we love teaming up. Well, we did not talk about much of your retirement, and I wanted to make sure that you didn't feel any pressure from me to keep going, knowing I wanted you to keep going. I wanted you to keep playing this game.
Why didn't you tell me this? I would have changed my mind.
No. I didn't. You've always been a step ahead of me in
I'm older, Trav.
in this game. Yeah, but it's in this game alone. You've always been a step ahead of me, and it's always been like I've had that flotation device right there, and it's to have you out of it, man. It feels empty, and it definitely it feels like it's complete.
Mm-hmm.
It was a success.
I hear you. Yeah.
It was a fun ass journey to watch, and like I said yesterday, man, I just appreciate you showing me the way and bringing us all along the journey with you, big guy.
We showed each other the way. Yeah. I think I appreciate it. So. Listen, I'm out of playing, but I'm still going to be, I'm still going to the games. Like I said, I've been, you've been playing for a long time on your own, and I look forward to being able to appreciate and watch your games more and take in the bigger picture of football and everything that it has to offer. While still remaining local in Philadelphia. Like, I'll never not be there, but definitely looking forward to. I don't know. It's a different chapter, and in some ways, I'll be able to experience more things and do things that I've never done before, which is exciting.
Well, it was just it was cool being the tag team
hey!
of the National Football League. Pretty cool shit. I didn't talk to you about it. I let you kind of do your own thing, and I could have been more proud listening to you yesterday. And it's just it's been a lot of emotions, a lot of sad emotions, a lot of exciting emotions. I mean, you got the fucking world in your palm right now, dude, and you got 3 little ones that I know you're dying to watch grow up, and it's just a lot of future. Exciting future things that we have to look forward to.
Absolutely.
And it's so back to the speech. Can I see the Kleenex real quick so I can just get over this thing real
I'm
fast?
sorry, I would be crying more, but I wasted all of my tears.
Yeah.
But
I got plenty of those.
I'll probably break down here at some point.
You hit the intensity of the Philly fans, man, and it was awesome. You hit it spot on. You've been spot on with it your entire career. Here in Bernstein, Jason, your guy, tell you that Philly's an awesome city. You're gonna love it. You embodied that place before you even knew you embodied it, and your toughness, your desire for excellence, your drive to be the best and not settle for anything other than that. The way you talked about the Philly fan base was so spot on, and it just it honestly, being here in Philly, for the past 13 years, I feel like I've become a part of this sports town. It's so random. I was a huge Flyers fan growing up because of Eric Lindros and John LeClaire, and for you to come in here and become idols like that for kids has been pretty damn cool. Did you always want to make the announcement alongside the Eagles organization? Was that kind of like in your mind to like stay a Philadelphia Eagle your entire career? Or?
Well, yeah, you want to. I mean, I've been very blessed to have that opportunity. I've even talked about it in the speech that almost didn't happen, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's so many things that need to go right for you to stay in one spot. You know, the organization has to want you. Financially, it has to work out. And then you got to want to continue to play in the same spot. And I think it's really hard to do in any sport in today's age. Like, it just is very rare that both of those sides and the financial thing line up for your whole career.
Yeah.
So it was a goal. You know, I talked about it. You know, we saw everybody leave in Cleveland. Did Big Z ever play anywhere else? That's the only guy that I think. Zydrunas might have been the only one.
He was the only one.
You know, it's not like, listen, I still love Jim Thome. I love Manny and all the guys that played in Cleveland, but it's, you know, there's something that happens when somebody leaves that I think is, especially as a kid, it's awkward or different wrapping your head around it. And, you know, I've been very lucky and fortunate to stay in Philadelphia, and it was certainly a goal, and I'm happy that it happened.
Was there any other way that you were going to do this announcement? Like, were you going to like jumping through the table? Were you just about to be like, all right, I'm done, and then just like jump on the burning table?
No.
Did it ever cross your mind you were going to do it any other way?
No, I think I wanted to do it at the facility in a press conference with people in the organization there. I think that felt right.